Will AI replace accountants? Is it all just nonsense and hype, or is there some legitimacy behind it? In this video, I'm going to provide you some practical insights on AI in accounting, what some of the skills of the future might look like, and how you can future-proof your skills so you can stay relevant and ahead of the curve. If you're new to the channel, my name's Callum. I'm a chartered accountant here in London, and I make videos for new and aspiring accountants wanting to future-proof their career. If that sounds of interest to you, be sure to subscribe and we'll dive right into the video. So let's clear up some points. There's been an awful lot of headlines now around AI replacing accountants and how accounting just isn't a safe career path to be in. I've seen it from politicians and influencers online, all sort of talking about the same thing and about how accountants aren't going to be needed in the future. Now, I've seen demos for different AI tools and I've actually used some of them myself, so I can attest to the fact that some of them are pretty good and pretty powerful and can do a lot of the tasks that would have been done by a junior accountant back in the day. Now, accounting students or aspiring accountants may start panicking and think, well, what's the point in me pursuing a career in accounting if it's all just going to get replaced? You know, should they even bother starting a career in accounting? But to be honest, I think this comes from a misunderstanding of what accounting really is and what accountants are really paid to do. I'll get on to that point shortly. But first, what can AI actually do? Well, as I've said, I've used a number of AI tools now, and the common running themes seem to be automation of data entry and reconciliations, identifying anomalies and key variances, drafting some basic emails and memos, taking meeting notes, and a number of other tasks, which when I started as an accountant over 4 years ago, I would have been doing myself as that junior on the team. The common theme seems to be that AI can do a lot of the repetitive tasks, which in your first year as an accountant, you may be expecting to do. But you need to remember this. Businesses employ accountants as trusted advisors. If you go down the chartered accountant route, you're going to spend years studying for different exams to become a master of business effectively, which is ultimately what a client is paying for. They're not just paying you for your hourly rates, they're paying you for the years of experience and expertise that you've built up through this rigorous training. So with that, what can't AI currently do? I think the number one area AI is struggling in, and I can't see it replacing anytime soon, is really the judgmental areas in accounting, of which there are a lot. This revolves around interpreting the numbers and knowing exactly what matters. Accountants are no longer just hired to do the backwards-looking compliance roles. Businesses need trusted advisors who can provide actionable insights on where the future is going. They know what the past already looks like, but what does that mean for the future? AI might be able to help with that, but there's always going to be a human element and a level of judgment that comes with that. And honestly, I can't see a business owner trusting the results of AI anytime soon over that of an accountant. Next up, AI can't replace communication, or at least can't do it very well. Explaining financial results and accounting terminology to non-accountants in a simple, understandable way is such a key skill. And as you progress in your accounting role, it's really what you tend to do more of. Being able to simplify complex topics, turn them into easily understandable and actionable insights, and applying it to specific business cases for certain industries is where the value lies and is really what clients want to know. And to be honest, I can't see AI replacing that anytime soon. Because let's be honest, no one wants to sit on a meeting with a robot and talk to a AI bot or something like that, right? And finally, professional skepticism. Because right now, AI can't read between the lines. It can't offer any challenge. And any accountant, auditor, or tax advisor will know that professional skepticism is such a key part of the job. You need to be cautious and questioning if something doesn't look quite right. Whether that's in a client's financial data or on their tax return or as part of the audit process. And really that comes from expertise and experience, but also that human nature and being able to, as I said, read between the lines, which ultimately AI can't do in the current form it's in. Now look, maybe this will change one day because AI is ultimately progressing pretty rapidly, but the overarching message is pretty clear. AI can process data, but it's the accountants that are needed to interpret that data and apply it to specific situations. So how is the accounting role actually changing? There's definitely going to be less time spent on the manual data entry style tasks and more time spent on the more complex judgmental tasks. Entry level roles are shifting and not disappearing. And that allows new accountants to get experience and exposure to these judgmental and possibly more complicated areas early on in their career, as opposed to just be doing the routine data entry, ticking and bashing style tasks that were once the forefront of the junior accountant's role. Now, don't get me wrong, there's obviously still a place for these manual tasks. Someone or something has to do them. But firms are going to try to use AI and automation effectively wherever possible to eliminate these tasks and allow those juniors to be freed up to do possibly more value-adding tasks, which can ultimately be charged out at a higher rate. So you need to expect more advisory style work, more data analytics, and more client communication earlier on in your career. And to do this, you need to evolve and future-proof your career and your skills. Just a quick plug for my email newsletter, The Future-Proof Accountant, where I talk about this on a regular basis in a bit more detail. So I'll link that in the description below if you want to go ahead and subscribe. Now, if you are a new or aspiring accountant, I'd really focus on 3 different skill areas. The first is your AI and data literacy. Knowing how to use AI tools like ChatGPT and Copilot effectively, along with things like Excel AI and possibly some cloud accounting automations too. Not to replace you, but to save you time and keep your skills relevant and up to date for the modern accounting firm. There's an awful lot of free content out there and low paid courses that I've seen. That can be a great place to start and just gives you a bit of an edge on your CV when it comes to showing that you are maintaining these skills and staying up to date and keeping relevant to where the profession currently is. Next up, there's the analytical thinking skills. And that goes beyond just saying what are the numbers and more towards what do the numbers actually mean. This is what firms desperately need from their new accountants because it's really the ability to interpret and add value that makes your role essentially valuable to the client. And lastly, I'd focus on the communication skills. As I've touched on, being able to interpret data and turn those numbers into key insights, but being able to communicate them in a way that possibly non-trained accountants will be able to understand. Now, I'll admit this is a skill that you definitely build up over time as you start building up more career capital, but it's something that you could be conscious of moving forward and really try and practice wherever possible. So with all that said, AI is not the end of accounting. It's the end of the routine, mundane, and bean counter narrative that has in the past sat with being an accountant, as we shift towards becoming future-driven, trusted advisors. So if you embrace AI, your career is going to be more interesting, more skills-based, and more valuable to future employers. So I hope you found this insightful. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.